There, we are live.
Okay, got it.
Got it.
Well, let me
Facebook, hi everybody. Welcome to Comic Spot. Interview number 810. Can you believe it? My goodness, how time flies. Thank you for tuning in and going to YouTube, comedian Linda Marcus Smith, and watching the videos of legends and brand new comics and everything in between. I want to let you know that I also do a Saturday and Sunday clean comedy show for the military. Anybody who does clean comedy can now come on and do comedy, not just military. Military do their sets first, and at the end, non-military. It's only fair. And those go out to military organizations, and they go out to veteran-owned companies. So come on board the happy train. We're going to heal some veterans with laughter. Now, Comic Spot 810 interview is my friend in real life via Zoom. He goes to the Gladys Simon party every Wednesday on Zoom. And you too can go and watch, or you can hit up Gladys or Gene Kim or Gay Lareau or Jim Maywald and beckon them to let you come do your funny there. It's not a closed environment. It's open to funny people. Funny is funny. So just remember that. Today, because of Zoom and because of the legend of Gladys Simon out at Comic Strip Live in the Gladys Simon room, I've gotten to know many wonderful New Yorkers, East Coast people. Today, you get to know the amazingly funny person who is Richard Parisi over in the other box. This is his huge intro. He came in second place in the Danny DeVito lookalike contest. I'm sorry that I beat you out of that contest.
If I was 2 inches shorter, maybe.
Welcome to the stage, the amazing Richie, the head Parisi. Woo! Hi, Richie.
Hello.
Hi.
Here I am.
I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for taking time. You look perfect in your blue. Did Gladys tell you to wear blue?
Not directly, no. But I did shave.
Awesome. How's it been going through the pandemic in the hotbed of the country?
Well, last year, all the clubs were closed, so that's how we got to meet each other and get to know. We were all Zoom comedy. And that's basically what was going on. We couldn't go out. We couldn't make people laugh in public. So we made people laugh in the comfort of our own homes. We were all halfway down.
Yes. So now that we're almost through the pandemic, things are opening up in New York. And I've been seeing that you're getting on some really good shows. Do you want to talk about that? Yeah,
well, I did. Like I said, I've been doing the two big clubs on Long Island, or the 3 big clubs on Long Island. There's Governors. I've been doing Governors, the Little Room and the Patio. I've also done McGuire's, and I haven't done Brokerage yet, but never know. But I'm doing, and I'm just doing a lot of open mics and having a lot of fun. Laughter is the best medicine. I try to give people a little medicine every time I'm around.
Yes, and you do a very good job of making me laugh and others, and that's why you're getting booked on some really big venues.
Yes, I am.
That's so awesome. So I like to, because I'm a baby boomer.
I think I'm too. I'm at the very tail end of it.
Okay, you're on the cusp. Okay, I get it. I like to take people on a journey back in time. So I want you to go back to little Richard Parisi. I don't care if you have to go get a DeLorean real quick in a time machine. Take us back and paint a picture for us who you were as a little kid at home and school.
All right, let's see. I was the class clown since the day I was born.
Aww.
My older brother, Dennis, may his soul rest in peace. He was the guy he was the guy who told all the jokes at the parties and made everyone laugh. When I saw that, I said, I want to be like him. I saw all the attention he was getting. So I started as young as maybe 7, 8 years old, 10 years old. I was telling jokes. And my very first impression when I was little was Richard Nixon. Let me tell you something. I am not a crook. And I was doing that at 8, 9 years old, 10 years
Wow.
old. And the brother would be to go, everyone close their eyes. And then I started doing Richard Nixon, everyone started laughing because I guess it was pretty spot on. And, you know, I said, I've been a class clown. Even my third grade teacher, elementary school teacher, reached out to me many few years ago and said, is this the Richie Parisi that made me laugh so much while he was my student? And I said, yes, her name is Mrs. Helfont, beautiful woman. She's still around. And I said, yes, Mrs. Helfont, it's me, the class clown.
Oh,
You know, it's a beautiful thing, you know. So I enjoy making people laugh and I like the attention.
yes, I do too. So
It's-
when you were growing up and you made people laugh in school and at home, did that teacher, did your parents, did your brother encourage your funny or just tolerate it?
Well, they laugh. My dad used to say, you know, I hope you don't think you're gonna make a living doing this. I was little. When I was younger, it says, you know, oh, Rich, they're not laughing with you, they're laughing at you. And I go, it's a laugh. I don't care, laugh at me, laugh with me. It's a laugh. Smile in someone's face. I made them chuckle. And maybe if I'm lucky, I pee a little bit.
It just depends.
It just depends, exactly. That's why those were invented.
Oh my gosh. So you grew up and you were the class clown. And then at some point you lost your mind and went on stage. Fill
Yes.
us in from
Okay.
the time you were in school till the time
I'm
you
sorry,
went
I
on
shouldn't.
stage.
I'm interrupting. I'm sorry.
That's-
Basically, I've been always a clown. I've been funny. I started being silly in bank lines. People laughed. Grocery stores, doctors. And I always thought you could only do one thing. I said, so I work for the United States Postal Service, been there 34 years. And I thought back then I couldn't do both. So I said, this is a solid job. I know where my paycheck's coming. But as I got older around now, I'm 50. And I just thought, you know, why not? One of my friends said, try a joke writing class. So went online, I found Rob Chaffee.
I love Joke Zoom. Rob
Joke
Chia.
Zoom. Yes. I went to his class, but I had so much in my head for 20, 30 years. I wrote most of it down. I brought it to this stuff I've been in my head, never really done it. And I went to the class and I took all the classes, and there was the graduation class, which I went and did my December 7th, 2019. I did my first live stand-up in front of people, and I thought I did pretty good, I thought. And after that, I just fell in love with it. I've been writing and having fun, all the jokes, and I see something funny, I write it down, I try to make a routine out of it. And most of my humor is making fun of myself because they can't say, I'm offended what you said. No, I made fun of myself. I'm not offended.
Thank you. That's right. So when you do your comedy, you make fun of yourself, your appearance that's on your face.
Yes.
And out of respect for you, I wanted to give you an opportunity to explain what that is
Okay.
for our people watching today.
It's called neurofibromatosis. It's a genetic disorder that causes benign tumors, little bumps of flesh to appear, to grow on me. You're born with it, but it doesn't really manifest to around puberty, 13, 14, when they start growing. The best time of a kid's life, you know, they mainly started growing in my back and chest back then, you know, and I thought it was acting, and went to the doctor and he said, there's neurofibromatosis 1. There's 2 where they actually grow on the inside, the organs. I don't have that, luckily. I have this one. And,
Wow. Can you imagine?
yeah, well, mine's quite mild compared to some really debilitating and disfiguring tumors. So mine is quite mild. So, I mean, I deal with it, and I make fun of it, you know?
You do.
I tell myself I'm a short, bumpy troll. There I am, you know? And that's one of the also part of neurofibromatosis is big head. You have a larger cranius. So that's one of the things also, the bumps and the big head.
Wow.
And like I said, there's no cure. They're researching it, but right now there's nothing they can do except, like I said, mine's quite mild. I deal with it. I have fun with it on my routines. Even when I'm joking around in life I'll just say I'm a bumpy troll, you know, stuff like that. I have fun with it.
That's
Yeah.
amazing that you do that. I'm so glad you do. And you do a good job of coming right out of the gate and talking about it and getting it out of the way and then going into more funny stuff.
Yeah.
You don't just get stuck on that and make people feel like we should feel sorry for you because we know you're over it.
Exactly. I mean, things in life you can't change. Getting upset over things, being a mad, there's no outlet. There's nothing you can do about it. So I deal with it. And I said,
Yeah.
and I have fun,
Yes. What's the
I-
funniest thing that somebody has said to you because of your special ability?
What
I don't-
special ability is that? I have so many. Which one?
When people look at your face and they see
Oh,
obvious bumps,
Well, if so a lot of people are afraid to ask.
not children.
I love when children. And if it's sometimes I don't have any kids, but I love kids with no filters. They
Yes.
complete strangers will say, "What are those?" One kid actually I had two stories about this. One kid goes, "What are those? Why you have those?" I said, and the mother was there, and the mother was feeling embarrassed because, oh my God. So I looked at him and I said, right to his face, "These are because I didn't listen to my parents and I didn't eat my vegetables. So if you don't want all these all over your body and face, listen to mommy and daddy and eat vegetables." And look on the mother's face like she's smiling. I said, because maybe she had a problem with vegetables, or hopefully that kid's now, "Mom, can I have more spinach?" Don't want to look like that guy.
Do you ever get cast in movies as a character?
I haven't broken that. I don't know, because I'm not out there yet. I'd like to.
I think you'd make a fabulous character in a movie because you're so animated.
And I do voices. I can play Quasimodo. Eagle. Oh, Martha, I think I got the wrong brain. Stuff like that. No, I'm not. I'm not even in the Actors Guild, so no one's unless I'm at a comedy club and something that. But I want him for that show. I want him. It's me. That's all. I'm not. I have no idea where to go that way, or I don't. I should have to take acting classes. I'm assuming.
Yeah, Gladys should pick you up and throw you in the middle of some connection there.
Yeah, exactly. I need connections. You need connections.
Yeah, push Gladys. I think you'd be hilariously great as a character actor in a movie show.
Even Rob Chavi said maybe a character in a TV show, not the main character, but just like a next door neighbor or something like that, or the weirdo at the bank.
He said it too.
He said yes, but I got to take acting classes. But then again, I got to find people who are casting. I do lots of I do imitations, voices, which I don't really do much of my comedy. But I do voices and I do imitations. I'm trying to eventually incorporate impressions.
Yeah. What are some of the impressions you do?
Let's see. Yeah, I do. Let's see. What's the name? Jimmy Stewart and It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Where's the old movie house? Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter. And then you got what's his name? Richard Gere and was it Officer Gentleman? Don't you do it! I have nowhere else to go. I have nowhere else to go. And I'm funny. How am I funny? Ha ha, funny. Am I a clown? Do I amuse you? And I do all little cartoon characters. I used to do. 5 o'clock, whistles on the blink. The whistle don't blow, so why do you think Bob's still in the factory? 'Cause happens to be. I just once I work on it, I do a lot of people. Those are just a few of my actors I do, but I'm trying to incorporate that in my comedy.
You could be a voiceover artist too.
That's what people tell me too, because I do a lot of. I could do. That's another thing I should look into, because I could definitely do all kinds of voices. Oh, Martha, I got the brains.
I do one impression.
Let's hear it. Come on.
Okay, it's of DB Cooper. Ready?
Okay.
That's it.
I'm gonna play really dumb. Who's DB Cooper? Because I know I heard the name of who's DB Cooper.
He's the guy in 1972 that got on the plane.
Oh, that's right.
And nobody ever saw him. He jumped out. He
Didn't
failed.
what's name make a movie about that? Leonardo Dicaprio, was that him?
No, that was something else, but it's
Okay.
similar in that there was a
Alright.
lot of money and it involved planes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know,
I'm horrible at impressions. I really admire you for being able to do them. I want to
Thank you.
do them. I can't do them.
When I was in high school, I used to imitate the school teachers, and I used to do was one teacher. He was an older man, and he would he'd charge a study hall, and he'd call out their names, and people just okay, and they leave. I once imitated him in roll call. Everyone left. They go, "Where is everybody?" Because I did his voice, and everyone just left after they heard their name. Mr. Thurman, Mr. Parisi, here, and I'd Rowan, Kern, and I did all the, and they wouldn't even realize it wasn't him, and everyone just left after they heard their name. I got in trouble for that. I go, don't do that, because people were leaving after they heard their name because study hall, everyone all back in that days, they all went to the bleachers and smoked,
That's hilarious. Hilarious. So what did you do in high school? Did people think you were the funniest guy?
Well, it was kind of weird in high school because I was a clown, and it was the year that people didn't think things were funny. A lot of the bullies chased me home. That's why I joined the track team, because I figured if I'm going to run home every day, I might as well get a letter, which is true. After a while, they stopped chasing me because they couldn't catch me. They go, I don't want to chase you no more. I said, yeah, if you quit smoking, you'd be able to. Well, that's true, because I didn't smoke back in high school. I wasn't one of the smokers. I was on the track team, and a semi-nerd, not the smartest kid in the class, but I was B minus, C plus, somewhere around the middle down there.
That's good.
I said, and our teachers, sometimes, a lot of times the teachers would not laugh because don't encourage him. Sixth grade teacher, Mrs. Bittner, a wonderful woman. Every time I crack a joke, she walked to the blackboard and do this, and she'd shake her head. I thought she was like just shaking it, but once we were in the middle of the hallway, and I cracked the joke, she looked around and just burst out and laughed. I realized that's what she was doing. She was laughing at what I said, but didn't want to encourage me. So went to the blackboard and did this.
That's fabulous. Oh my God.
Went to college, and I got a degree in computer programming back in NCCC, National Community College. And there I was big into, as I still am, as you can see, the earrings and all that stuff. I was into the punk rock and new wave back in the early 80s. So I was always, like, you see how I dress when I do my shows, how I dress? I should dress that way every day going to school.
Wow.
So I'm enjoying dressing like this all over again.
So have you ever been bullied because of wearing earrings or anything?
No. See, here's the thing. I didn't wear my, let's say, I tell you how old I was. I didn't get my first earring till like 88, 80, 89. So I was already like 89. It was what? Hello. 89. I was 26 years old when I got my first earrings and my first tattoos. I bloomed older. And actually, I grew up in an Italian house, and I played by the rules of my house, my mom and dad. So before I got my first tattoo, it was 1988. So maybe 25. I asked my dad, I want to ask you a question. What's up, son? Can I get a tattoo? He goes, why are you asking me? I go, because I want to know the rules of this house. If I can't get a tattoo under your roof, get a tattoo. It's your body. And the same thing with my earrings. Because a lot of parents, back then, you play by the rules of mom and dad. It wasn't like I do what I want kind of thing. Now it is now. I asked my dad, I'm getting the earrings. Okay. So I want to make sure that I'm not going to be kicked out because I have a hole in my head. Ear.
You know what I'd like you to cover in this interview in great detail? Two things, if you will. I'd like you to cover in detail the camaraderie support you got in two places, Rob Chiaffi's Joke Zoom groups and Gladys Simon Anything.
Both of them are everyone laughs at my stuff. Everyone's very supportive. They great job, no matter, And I mean, I think that's how much in detail I said. I love Gladys and that group. I go there when I'm not actually out doing a open mic because I'm home. You know, I work in the morning, so I get up. So I'm usually by 8 o'clock. I'm here. You know, I'm home.
So you go to Rob. Break it down for those I know, you know, but people watching don't have a clue what Joke Zoom and Gladys Simon is. So fill people in.
Joke Zoom is a joke. It's not a show. It's a joke writing class for up and coming comedians or people who want to. And he gets all together. He breaks into rooms and we work on our jokes. I'll tell a joke the way I have it, and someone might suggest, Rich, try this way. Maybe this way is funny. Oh, that's perfect. That's what we do with Joke Zoom. If there's any comedians out there, go to jokezoom.com and apply. We're a great bunch of people. We have so much fun, and it's all about joke writing and making your jokes funny, because everyone's joke can be improved, no matter how much you think, oh, that's perfect. You know, there might be another angle that you would never think of. One of the jokes I'm working on now, which I got to write down a little more work. I'm working on. I talked about. You know, I learned Spanish from my Spanish girlfriend, and every time she talked in Spanish, I learned Spanish. And I said, well, would it be funnier, Rich, if she had a bilingual parrot that would translate for you? And I thought that was gold. I walked in. She goes, "Hola, Ricardo. Hello, Richard. Hello, Richard. Tienes hombre? Are you hungry?" And then I get into the bedroom, you know, and whatever she says, see, I'm going, and the bird in the other room is screaming, but I'm working on this one now. And the last thing he says after we're done is, I've written up, and I'm not going to say it now because I got to look for it. My husband is home. And I say, yeah, my husband is home. And I jump out the window, hasta la vista, but I'm working. That's one of the jokes I'm working on.
That's fabulous.
But I said, it's a lot. If anyone's up and coming comedian wants to help writing jokes, this is the place to be.
It is.
Now,
like Tim Thompson has great tips, and the whole.
Oh my God, Tim Thompson is hilarious. I work with him and been with shows with him. He's hosted with shows I was on. He is so on the mark, you know. Whenever you say something, bam, he has an answer, or you know, he's hilarious.
Yes, he is.
He is.
So then let's talk about Gladys Simon as a legend in New York City, helping other comedians, helping you, things you've seen her, how you've seen people improve over at Comic Strip Live. Can you speak to that from your vantage point?
My point, I mean, I started when I first started, I remember someone referenced me, and I reached out there on Facebook and I said, well, go, if everyone else wants to know, Richie the Head Parisi on YouTube. That was my very first stand-up with Rob Chopper. I go, Richie the Head Parisi on YouTube. And I sent her that, and I said, I want to be a part of your show. She went, okay. And she gave me the rules, you know, dress nice, be polite and everything, and listen. And I say, I watch people, I've been watching for 2 years. I think some of them all the people I've been working with, seen have improved or are still hilarious, or some of just, everyone's fabulous. And we welcome the new people there, and it's funny when they're brand new and everything, and they're stumbling. But then after a while, you're a pro there.
That's right. It's such a supportive environment. And then she calls it a developmental mic, because the camaraderie, you go there, you do your set, she gives you tips, and then everybody there is willing to share tips as well.
You know, you go to the chats, and there was a funny Rich or funny blank, that's hilarious. You know, it's never a bad night, you know, but sometimes it's hard to judge when a Zoom, because most of the time everyone's heard my jokes there already. But that's why I got to work on new stuff. But you know, it's still fun, and we have a lot. And I said the group of the regulars, it's almost a regular. So at 10 or 20 regulars are all the time. You know, I said Gladys is there, Gabe LaRoche is there, Gene Kim, Jim Maywald. Everyone's all great and funny there, and we all have it's like two just can't speak in a backyard picnic, drinking beers and doing this live and having so much fun. All over the world in the United States. It's kind of hard.
Yes. Okay, I'd like to flip the script a little. We've gone through a pandemic. We're kind of sort of getting near the tail end of it.
Yes.
How do you want the world to be better off because of what we went through? What would you like to see come out of all this?
I guess some unity with everyone. Everyone's fighting over anti-vaccine, vaccine pill. Oh, it's people are fighting over this. Just let's all get along. I mean, and don't freak out if someone's not vaccinated, not wearing a mask. Just let people do their own things. Just people are fighting over this. They're getting out, and I said, I vax. I don't care. I wear my. Right now we're back to wearing masks at my job at the post office. Just to wear the masks there. Everywhere else, no restaurants. But I think New York City, you got to show your vaccination card before you can go into a restaurant now. I think I heard something like that. But and what else does it mean? Hopefully, I don't think it's going away anytime soon. I can tell you that because every time it gets caught up, a new variant comes. I think.
Oh my gosh.
I think this is just the destruction of mankind. I think we're going to be wiped out within 100 years.
Yes. I want to ask you a question about your comedy career since 2019, right?
Yes.
So who are some people you would like to give a nod to who've actually, besides Rob and Gladys, who are some other people who have come along when you've been down in the dumps or when your set didn't go well, it gave you tips? Who are some unnamed people you'd like to shout out?
Mike Dillon, promoter Mike Dillon, and everyone. Can I be? Is it because he's saying I haven't yet had a bad set yet? I haven't. I haven't bombed yet, but when I do, I know it's going to be a biggie.
You put a lot into your comedy. It isn't just the words that you're saying. You breathe a lot of life into your comedy, and even if sometimes a joke doesn't hit, your delivery, your connection hits.
Thank you. I try to be animated. I try to act out. I used to have a problem, which I sometimes do. I talk too fast, and I speed through the joke, and sometimes I step on my laughter. These are my issues. I got to learn to stop. Most of the time, every now and then I'm just right on mark. I do a nice slow, and I wait for the laughter. But there's every time I'm and I'm laughing, and it's just people are laughing. I'm going to the next joke. Those are a few of my faults, which I'm still working on. But like I said, and all the people who give me encouragement, my friends, family, all the people in my joke world, the comedy world, and I enjoy I love every one of them. Everyone's one of everything. Everyone's funny in their own way.
They are.
I haven't seen one person on any of these joke Zooms or maybe very few and rare that someone is a complete moron or idiot, just not funny. Just some people just talk dirty or jokes, and not even jokes, just rants and just. I'm a little edgy. I'm a little dirty, but I don't really curse that much at all. My acts. I very rarely will I say. I rarely throw the F-bomb. I don't think I've ever thrown the F-bomb in any of my sets. I might say shit. But most of my stuff I says it's a little edgy, but I'm not dirty. I'm dirty, but I'm not cursing. I think cursing is just filler words. They're not needed.
Yeah. Every once in a while, you'll slip and say a word, and because it's who you are in real life. Because like in real life, every once in a while I'll slip and say a curse word, and you try not to do it. But even though I profess to be a clean comic, there's times I haven't been clean. So
I got some clean stuff. All my stuff I could pretty much clean up. I could just, my joke about my bumps, I say they're all over my body except for one place.
You refer to it.
I look down when I'm acting. I'm looking down. I go, I wish they were there. Then I would be ribbed for her pleasure. See, if it's a clean mic, I won't put that part in. I'll just end it at. I look like I'm a love child with Dan DeVito and a pickle, and I leave it there. But because I just, as I said, I can clean up most of 95% of my stuff I can clean. Few things, there's no cleaning up certain things I joke about. It's like, nope, sorry, can't clean up the Viagra joke.
That's just not clean upable.
There you go.
What's the funniest thing you ever seen happen in your 2 years and some months of comedy?
In my routines?
Yeah, what have you seen at live or on Zoom that has just cracked you up? you're relatively new at comedy. You go in with certain expectations, and something happens that blows your mind that it happened at a comedy venue. Have
Well,
you had anything like that?
well, twice. I did one joke and there was a woman next to me that laughed so hard at the joke, I got thrown over and started stumbling. It happened twice that a joke hit so hard that I got thrown up by the large laughter from a joke. I'm sure that's happened to other people too, that it throws, because I have a beat when I'm doing a joke and all of a sudden I get her, and she's right next to the stage and let out a huge level, whoa, wait a minute, that's funny. And I got thrown out and I screwed up the next part of the joke because I was thrown up by her laughing. I was at a show where I'm not going to mention the comedian. He's all over the place. He's big. He makes jokes about professional wrestling and how stupid it is. A professional wrestler was actually there and stormed the stage, grabbed the mic and started screaming at him. Screaming, I pay my bills. Like big guy, 700 freaking pounds, 7'2", got his feelings hurt.
Got what?
He got his feelings hurt. 7'2", 555 pounds. I got my profession. I would love to be someone like that. I would love someone like that to come up, not come up to me, and I said, touch me, I own your house. Plain and simple. Touch me, I own your house. It's a joke. It's a joke. You're a big boy. You're 5 big boys. And everyone was quiet because people thought it was part of the act, but it wasn't. They thought it was because no one knew what to say. It was very silent. I said, you gotta be. And I've seen other comedian doing Indian. I do an Indian joke too. Let me tell you, like, I'll tell you real quick. I say I hate these pill ads. These pill ads, whatever you got, there's a pill for. Sometimes the side effects are worse than what you got. You know, some are death. They say side effects may be fatal. So I told my doctor, listen, you keep the pills. I'm keeping the diarrhea. But then the Viagra joke is, check with your doctor if you're healthy enough for sex. My doctor said, Mr. Parisi, I connect you with this pill. You're not healthy enough for sex. So the Indian guy. I don't care. I've heard somebody do an Indian guy in an Indian audience. That's not funny. That's not funny. I'm going, grow up. Yes, it is funny. Yes, it is. It is the highest form of flattery. Right?
That's right.
I got my Jamaican voice, when I get older and I can't take care of myself, I'm gonna get myself a big old Haitian nurse's aide. I'm gonna wipe your ass now, Mr. Parisi. Don't worry, I'm not gonna look at your little Zozo. I do all these voices. I do the Jamaican voice too when I'm on you ever fly Jamaican Airlines in Jamaica? You hear the Jamaican pilot? Wait. Hello, welcome to non-stop Jamaica Airline flight 222. We're going to be flying to Jamaica, and we're going to be higher than anyone in the plane. So sit back, smoke a doobie, and everything will be higher. I do those. You can't do that. You might hurt someone's feelings. I said, yes. That's not funny. That's what I do, See, I'm trying to be like, I want to be the edgy comedian, and I'm going to say and jokes. I'm not going to be politically correct. If I have a joke that's politically incorrect, I'm doing it.
That's great.
George Carlin didn't write down and go, now we got a pen. Is someone going to be offended by this? No, I won't write that one. Did you ever say, I can't write this joke so I might get offended? None of them did. But now we got a culture that I got to think someone might hurt someone's feelings. It might offend them. Don't come to my show.
If you go to a show, you buy a ticket,
Yep.
you get a babysitter, you grab your wife, you make her
Yep.
dress up like a whore. You go to a show and you're strutting your stuff with your wife getting all the attention. The least you could do is let other people have freedom of speech in America.
I know. If something bothers you, you say nothing, and you just watch the rest of the show and say, I'm not going to go watch Richie the Head again. I didn't like what he said in that joke. That bothered me. So you don't come see me again.
Yeah.
I'll live with it, okay?
Don't come.
I don't come to my show. But you know what's even scarier? The more conscious you get, people who hate you will come to see you just to see you and see what you say so they can get mad. They'll pay to see you just to get mad. That was when I'm Howard Stern. More people hated him, listened to him because they wanted to see what he said so they get mad.
Oh my gosh.
If I don't like you, I'm not gonna come see you. It's like me going to a band I can't stand just so I hate that song, but I'm paying to see them.
Totally stupid.
It is. That's a silly.
That, and then venues like a restaurant or a hotel, casino, you go in there and you go, this would be a great place to have a comedy show. And they're like, oh, no, we do music. And then when you ask them, well, too many people get upset at what the comedians say. Well, then you get some grown-up customers.
I went down to when I was handing out my card. I went to Aragona's. It's a restaurant on Main Street in Patchogue. We can't have comedians because it's a family restaurant. Sometimes the comedians get a little dirty. I said, oh, okay, thank you. Have a nice day. While your kid's throwing it at 12 years old, throwing the F-bomb in junior high, you're worried about what I'm going to say.
Thank you. Exactly.
Whatever. That's what it is. Is what it is. I said, hey, I'm on this. I call it my magical mystery ride. I guess I'm having so much fun.
That's so amazing, the ride you're on. And just in the short time I've known you, I have just appreciated you and you're so supportive, so nice, so consistently a nice guy, and so funny. And I really appreciated.
Thank you.
You keep getting funnier and funnier. What's up with that?
I wish I could do with my height. Keep getting taller and taller. No, that doesn't work. I said, I got my shortest from my mother. What can I say? My dad was 5'11". She was 4'11". So I got
my mom was 4'9".
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? We can't fight it.
I used to joke with my dad way back when I was younger. I said, now couldn't you marry a taller girl, Dad? Maybe I'd be maybe a little bit taller than this little short guy. Oh, yeah, but you could love the taller girl, couldn't you?
Do you date taller women?
I have no choice. Actually, truthfully, my girlfriend is 5'8", and she wears 3-inch heels. This is part of my joke too, but it's true. She is 5. She was 5. We were together. We just had yesterday. I said, and she's just. Part of my routine is, her last boyfriend was like 6'8". No, her last wife was 6'8". I go, really? You must have lowered your standards. I think her ex-husband was 6'6" too, something like that.
Gee.
So, I do like him tall. I like him short. As long as it makes me smile and laugh, it doesn't matter. If it's a girl that makes me laugh, it's will make me feel happy to be with her. It doesn't matter.
There you go. And you make her happy to be, that you're with her. So that in your life, before you get to be my age and you're going to croak at any moment, what is it that you want to accomplish so that you have a legacy, you leave your stamp on the world? What are you after?
I want something like I said, I've been able to remember that I made people laugh and made people smile, maybe make it big in TV, movies, or come even stand up and fill up Nassau Coliseum and fill up the Madison Square Garden, and then be on with the Academy Awards, the Emmy Awards, in memoriam, have my 10-second, 5-second blip of me, Richie the Head Parisi, with the music going in the background, some sad crying music, something like that. Oh, I remember him. Oh, so funny. What happened? And I want all the girls that turn me down for dates, that on the dating sites, to say, damn, if I known he was gonna have some money, I would have answered him back. I don't get it, When I actually met my girlfriend on a dating site. She actually reached out to me. I said, oh, but most of the girls said, I know, I joke around. You like Clint Eastwood? You big Clint?
Yes.
Remember the movie Magnum Force?
Yes.
What was his line? A man's got to know his limitations. Remember that? A man's got to know his limitations. So I know the kind of beautiful girl I can get, for the most part. I don't know. So I would check, I would just message these, before I met my girlfriend, of course. I message these plain, average, nice and girls, somebody a little bit chubby. Hi, how are you doing? My name is Rich. No answers back. You know, I said, what the F are you looking for? You know, what are you looking for? Really? So I started laughing. I said, they always write, want a man with a sense of humor. Ha, 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 you're right. You know, so I write, this is another thing. I write back, hi. One girl wrote, make me laugh, you win my heart. All right, so I wrote back to her, I can make you laugh. I make my lawyer laugh. I make a parole officer laugh. I make the judge wet his pants with laughter. So I know I can make you laugh. But I'm not, I don't care. I just have a beautiful young girlfriend, beautiful young. She's also about 15 years younger than me.
You got the lottery. You won.
Yeah, I joke with her a lot. And I say, you know something? I said, I stepped in shit. You know that phrase, you stepped in shit? She goes, no, you stepped in diamonds. I don't like that, stepped in shit. Okay, diamonds. But that's, you know, that's the basic me, you know?
Yes.
That's what's going on in my life. I'm helping.
So how do you're in New York, there's a lot of shows, there's a lot of bringers. How do you go about bringing people to your comedy shows with the amazing personality? You must find people to come easily.
Oh, how little you know. My friends, I used to pay people the ticket to go to the show. And, you know, they just pay for their booze. But lately, my friends and family have seen me. My parents are passed. My brothers are passed. I have an older sister, but she's in Connecticut. And my three nieces, they all have children and husbands. They can't be running around every weekend. They've all seen me. So basically, I'm almost done with bringer shows unless I know I'm going to have the people. I'm done with bringer shows. I'm just doing shows, open mics and charity. And there's one or two promoters that are going to put me on without a bringer and pay me. So that's where I'm going. I'm almost done, but it's hard, you know. Every my job, I tell people at my job, you know, when I become famous, I remember who didn't come see me.
Exactly.
Didn't come see me. I'm not going to know you. Who? Billy Hill? No, that's not something. No. Mary who? Mary who? Mary who's right? Who? I don't know. But Lisa came to see me. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Very good to see you. I'm doing great. You know.
Have you ever invited somebody to come to a show and then they were terrible to have at the show?
No. Everyone come to the show. I mean, a heckler? No. Everyone that came to my shows that I either paid or come to see me loved it. They said you did good. I've never had any regrets of anyone I brought to the shows.
That's great. Oh my gosh, you pick out good people to come to shows.
Well, I got my two friends at work. They've been coming out, two good friends at work. They try to come to every show. But I give them, I say, a lot of times us bringers, we got to pay for our people to come. You got to pay your friends to come see you. So you get enough people so you can perform.
Yes.
And it sucks. That's why I'm pretty much done with bringers.
Yep.
I mean,
well, you get good enough. You don't need to be doing bringers. You need to get paid.
I know that. And that's why I'm doing one show in a couple of weeks, which I should be getting paid. It's at Paradise Studios in North Massapequa on November 21st.
Oh.
Everyone, my Facebook fans who look Richard Parisi, on my Facebook page is Richard Parisi. You'll see me, my lovely face and my mic in my hand. So that's so, and I put the flyers up there. It's I don't have the number on me but you call the number that takes $20.
Super cheap for Massapequa.
And it's just for ticket. You don't have to buy nothing. You know, it's at Paradise Studios. You have to buy anything. You just come see the show, $20, enjoy the show. There's like me and 4 or 5 other comedians. Great comedians going. You know. Fabulous.
So what would you like to say to people as we close out this little interview? What would you can have up to 5 minutes to do shtick or to encourage people to be better humans or how to act at a comedy show or whatever you want to say.
Okay. First of all, have a sense of humor. If you're politically correct, if you're woke, if whatever you want to call this political correctness, if anything offends you in any shape or form, don't come to a comedy show. Do not come. Sit in your little house and don't worry about it. Or be able to be as mature and go, oh, that's not funny, but I'm not going to laugh at it and just go on. Don't shout at the comedian. Don't be nasty and disrespectful. Because if 85% of people like that joke, or 90% like that joke and you don't, and you see the reaction, keep your mouth shut, and everyone's got to be kind to everyone. Vax, anti-vax, don't preach about this and that and the other thing. Just be a little respectful of people, be nice. Don't take life. I haven't taken life serious since I think the day I was born. I haven't taken, I could be funny at a funeral. That's how bad I am. I could.
You could do what at a funeral?
Be funny. I could be funny at a funeral. I put the snow machine inside the coffin. That pissed people off, but that's beside the point. I never did that, but I would love to.
What's the funniest wisecrack you ever came up with?
Oh my God. I was at one of my friends' weddings. This is one of the funniest things I've ever said. I never did it on stage. And it's after the ceremony, and then the receiving line, you're great. You shake the hands of the parents of the bride and groom. So I'm up to the bride and groom's parents, and I go, "You're not losing a daughter, you're gaining an idiot." And they just gave a blank stare, and I could not stop laughing, but I thought it was so freaking funny. I did stuff like that. I'm a wise ass in public. If I see something, like I said, even it's not comedy like stand-up comedy, but sometimes I'm just a wise ass, and sometimes I'm a sarcastic, and sometimes people don't get that I'm just being funny and I'm not being an asshole. I thought you were an asshole. No, that was sarcasm. I've done stuff like that. Stuff like that. The counting mother. You a counting mother or a count? You know what the counting mother is, right?
No.
That child is doing something, or you're my generation. No. The counting mother, when your child is doing something wrong, you don't yell, you don't say good over, you go 1, 2, 3. Some kid was acting up and the mother was counting. She come to 8, 9, and woke up and I said, "Let me ask you a question. What? 9? What one number you go over there and kick his butt?" Really? You're teaching the kid to count. He's ignoring you.
Exactly.
I never even counted once. He lifted up his belt up and said, "Undo his belt." Whoop, Richie's getting in line. Okay, Dad, sorry. That's
way to do it.
That's the way I do it. I said, that's why I'm not a parent, because I'd be in jail. Either I smacked their ass or I put them to bed without dinner because they wouldn't eat what my wife cooked.
That's the only thing I did right as a mother, is I didn't ever hit my kid. Everything else I kind of screwed up by being too nice. I didn't count, but I never, I was just too nice of a mother. Kind of backfired on me.
All right, well, that you can do. But I'm sure you're wonderful. How many children? How many children you have?
I have one child.
And how old is he or she?
It's a she. She's in California, and she hasn't spoke to me since the day I started comedy.
I'm sorry to hear that. Why?
Because I never said no to her, and the day that I did, that's the last she talked to me. I should have said no when she was 7.
See, that's why I'm not a parent.
It's hard raising kids, but comedy has saved my life. I'm
so glad, and you're wonderful. I love you.
Thank you. I love you. You make me
like
cry.
This. Oh, don't cry. Tina, the truth is I never left you. Yeah, but everything is great. Thank you so much.
So great. Thank you so much for your time. I'll post it with my feelings about you. And if you have any dates of upcoming performances in any other social media, send it to me and I'll put it in there and make sure everybody knows.
I posted on Facebook. That's the 21st of November. That's Saturday. Sunday the 21st at Paradise Studios in North Massapequa.
Can you type that in the chat so I get it right? He'll be right back. He's just stepping, getting something important right now.
That was hello. Sorry.
Look at he's running.
Yeah, that was my little downstairs said I was a little bit too loud.
What's your necklace?
Oh, this?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What?
It goes with the razor blades here. My necklace is a razor blade and the razor blades. See, I'm into the punk thing. It was my landlord downstairs saying I was too loud up here. What can you do? Nothing. Now he just called me before and I just ignored his phone call. Okay. I didn't think it was that loud, was it?
No.
He hasn't bothered me lately on that because I used to have my laptop by my wall of fame there, and it was right by his door. He said it's too loud, so now I moved it here. But I guess okay. But yes, that's it was fantastic with this one interview. Send it to Jimmy Kimmel and what's the other guy? Fallon, maybe Conan O'Brien and anyone else. Danny DeVito, Rhea
If
Perlman.
I'm sending it out, it'll probably wind up at 7-Eleven on camera 4.
And let me tell you something. You don't come into my 7-Eleven and tell me about the prices. You go someplace else and get what you want to get. Don't get that to my store.
You're a doll. Thank you so much for letting me get to know you.
Thank you, and thank you everyone. And I said,
Type in the chat where you're performing and your social media so I don't make any typos.
okay, let's see. Well, I'll do it right now. Let's see. Let's see. I'll write Paradise Studio. It's 20 Broadway on Broad. I'm a terrible typer.
That's okay. People are just watching you do this really slowly. Don't worry. Take your time. They've got nothing to do at home.
Massapequa, New York.
You know how to spell Massapequa?
Yeah, Massapequa, spelled the way it sounds. Massa.
The way it sounds.
Yes.
It sounds difficult.
That's where I grew up. I grew up in North Massapequa. That's my old town back there. And that's right. Well, that's where I'm going to be on. I put the time.
November 20. Yeah, sure. November 21st, Massapequa.
I didn't write November 21st. November 21st, 8 p.m. 8 p.m.
And you always put where you're going to be performing on your Facebook.
All the time. Facebook. Now I'm on Instagram and Twitter and.
No way.
Instagram, Twitter, and what's the other one? TikTok.
Good for you. Way to go, boomer.
I got all the catfish on TikTok. All these young girls in their 20s and 30s are in love with me and want to meet me. Send me a picture. I'm looking for me. And I go, yeah. You're a guy in freaking New Brunswick, New Jersey, trying to fool me, please. I hear what I say about catfish. If they're all beautiful, nice, perfect boobies, nice little bodies, and I'm so handsome, hello handsome. I think I love you. All this nonsense. So you want to fool me and want to catfish me? This is what you got to do. You got to be a woman in her mid-40s, a little midriff, little gray hair, and you'd fool me. Not a 21-year-old supermodel who thinks I'm the cat's meow. No, I don't think so. Sorry.
Hilarious.
I was born at night, but not last night. One girl actually, after she schmoozed me and I said, okay, here, she played her trump card. She goes, can you get me a credit card? Help me get a credit card. I went, no, bye-bye, scammer. All right. Thank you so much, Linda.
Thank you so much, Richard. See you Wednesday night at the Gladys Simon party.
I might be this Wednesday. I might be doing a live open mic.
Yes. Okay.
But
break
next
a
Wednesday,
leg wherever you go. Break a leg.
And you too. Enjoy yourself. All right. Thank you.
Thank
again.
you. Love you lots. Bye.
Bye-bye. We say goodbye now. Say thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.